Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Raymond Mason here again from London, England. I'm going to give you a short talk about Islam and how Islam and Christianity, 4 reasons why Islam and Christianity are not compatible. Firstly, prophets. What do I mean by prophets? Well, the Quran says that Muhammad is the prophet of God, singular. The problem there is, in the Old Testament, in the Bible, there are many prophets. In the New Testament, also, there's many prophets. And not just then, there's prophets now. I know prophets now, who I've met. So to say that there's only one, God got one prophet is totally incorrect. And in the Old Testament and New Testament, there are many prophets. Further to that, in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11 to 12, it says that God himself gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, and pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints. So a prophet is necessary for the saints to be perfected, to be taught and guided directly, properly. So the whole thing of there just being one prophet is totally incorrect. Also, water. If we look in the days of Noah in the Old Testament, the water was used to wash away the sin, the wickedness, the wicked people from the earth. So it was a major part of salvation in the days of Noah. When Moses was in Egypt, when he led the Hebrews out of Egypt, what actually happened there was that when they came to the Red Sea and the Egyptian army came to them, God told Moses to stretch out his arm, and stretch out his arm, and the Dead Sea parted. The Hebrews went through dry land, went to the other side, and then the Egyptians came through. As the Egyptians came through, the whole army was washed away with water. So we've got another type of salvation there. So 2 major parts in the Old Testament about water and salvation. In the New Testament, Jesus said that he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, that he that believeth not shall be damned. So again, water, a major part of baptism, salvation. In Islam, there's no salvation to do with water. There is ceremonial washing of your hands with water, very similar to the Pharisees, the religious people in Jesus' day, but not a major form of salvation. So this is another major differentiation between Islam and Christianity. Also, they're taught in Islam that God wouldn't put himself in a man. Now what we must understand is that no righteous man or person from God will accept worship. So no righteous angel or no righteous man. So if you look at Acts chapter 10 verse 25 to 26, Peter came to Cornelius' house to preach the gospel to him. And as he came, Cornelius came back to bow down to him, start to worship him. And Peter said, stop doing that. I'm not a fellow servant. Don't worship me. I'm a fellow servant. So he was a man. Even if you look in Revelation chapter 22 to 8, Revelations chapter 22 verse 8 to 9, John saw an angel and he fell down to bow down to the angel, and the angel said to him, no, stand on your feet. I'm a fellow servant like you. So a decent angel and a decent human being will not accept worship. The only way they can accept worship if they were God. And we know Jesus actually accepted worship. If we could look at Luke chapter 24 to 52, and they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. They're talking about Jesus. And John chapter 10 verse 30 says Jesus, I think it was Philip. Philip was walking with him, and he asked him, says, Jesus, show us the Father. And he said, Jesus said, have I been such a long time with you, you've not known me? He said, I and the Father are one. So he was saying that he's God. So Jesus said it out of his own mouth that he is God. So also, Islam, I know people are not going to like that, but like this, but I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to open your eyes, because the most important thing for me to do is explain the truth to you. Now, Islam, Muhammad came from a tribe, I'm not going to get the pronunciation incorrect here, tribe called the Quraysh tribe. They used to worship the moon. They were moon worshippers. That's Muhammad's father's tribe, moon worshippers. Now, what is on almost every single mosque and quite a lot of the Islamic countries' flags? The moon. What they're dealing with is moon worship, whether they understand it or not. This is one of the problems when we're born into a religion. Because the problem is when people are born into a religion, a lot of people hold on to religion for dear life. So if they're born a Catholic, a Jehovah's Witness, Muslim, Mormon, people born into things, they hold on to them for their lives. Now what we have to do is to question, ask relevant questions. What evidence is there showing that the religion that you've been brought up in is the correct religion? Now, one of the problems with Islam is that there are certain similarities with Christianity. What you'll find is that a lot of Christians and Muslim families sometimes we have more disabled kids than people that don't believe in God. Why? Because we don't murder our children. No way, shape or form will we murder our children. However, it doesn't mean we do the same thing. We follow the same religion. Now, it's like if you, in the UK, here, I supply security guards and bodyguards. We have to have what you call an SIA license, which is Security Industry Authority license. Now, if I go to another place and they do security training, but it's not the exact thing that the SIA want, it's not sanctioned by the SIA, I could do all the training I want, but unless it's sanctioned by the SIA, it's a waste of my time. I'm gonna have to go again and get different training that adheres specifically to the SIA's training. Just like a degree. You might want a degree from Harvard, so that means you have to go to Harvard and find out what they want, what stipulation they want. Yeah, there's no point saying you want a degree from Harvard, but you can go to Princeton and you like Princeton and think you could send your things up, documentation to them and say you think that's going to give you a degree from Harvard. You have to go to Harvard. So with the things of God, that's why the most important thing on earth is the truth, and we need to know the truth about God. Because there are many people saying that they worship God, but they're not worshiping God. They may have a right heart, but if you've got a right heart, your ears and your eyes will be open to the truth. My favorite saying is, the truth does not fear investigation. You know, only people, when you see certain people talk about their worldviews, you see some people start arguing, getting angry, and almost come to the point of fighting. If you're getting so angry, that means that you're not sure of your own worldview. And this is why, if you're a Muslim, you should be reading your Quran. If you're a Catholic or any form of Christianity, you should be reading the Bible. So you then, if people question you, can find out what's what. Is what you're dealing with, is it the truth or is it fiction? As I say, there's nothing more important than God on earth. But we need to know which God. And you must remember, one of the 10 commandments is you must not make any graven image on earth of anything in heaven, on earth, or underneath the earth. And as I said, every mosque has got shapes of the moon on them, on top of them, and in the mosques. And at least half, bare minimum half of Islamic countries have got the moon on their flags. If you're not worshipping the moon, why have you got the moon all over your mosques and your flags? Interestingly, in Israel, the so-called Star of David, I think it's called the Star of Rephaim, is actually a star. It's actually a witchcraft symbol, a 6-pointed star. And that 6-pointed star, that a lot of people use it to actually conjure up demons. Even as a Christian, you don't need a cross. I don't wear no cross. You don't need any symbol whatsoever. Okay, I hope you found this interesting. I've been very brief with you today. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so that any of my other messages, when they come out, you'll be notified about them, and send it on to other people who you think may find it useful. Thank you so much for spending your time with me this evening. Goodbye.